My name's Keillor-Faulkner. The Keillor comes from my wife, so I thought I'd better correct that. And I was never chairman of the forestry department. I was just a lowly professor. But I taught forest ecology and silviculture, and this particular woodlot is actually rather typical of woodlots that have gone through hell in order to get to heaven, because this was probably high graded 120 years ago for oak and pine, probably cut at Young's Point Mill. It was then burned to get rid of all the trees that weren't cut, and plus the slash, and then it was pastured. And abandonment from pasturing has led to a pretty diverse forest. It's diverse in species. It's diverse vertically, so you've got lots of height in some trees and you've got understory. It's diverse horizontally because you get small openings like this as a result of the pasturing. You get areas where you have fairly young trees, areas where there are older trees, so it's very, very diverse. And this diversity leads to good habitat for animals. So we have pretty good use of this property by birds. We can hear them. And hopefully in the future we can have nature walks. A friend of mine who is, I'm afraid, going blind, but he's a very good bird watcher. Well, he's going to be a bird hearer. He can tell birds just from the sound they make. So we hopefully maybe get him out here and we can do birding by ear, for example, which is going to would be kind of neat. There's lots of signs of deer use in this area. In fact, the northeast corner is a very dense cedar stand, which is probably a deer yard. Deer would use that in the winter. It has a very high basal area and very strong cover to keep the snow loads down so the deer can move around much more easily in the winter. There's heavy browse throughout here, so obviously the deer are using this area. There's lots of mast trees. Mast trees are those that produce significant quantities of fruit or nuts for use by wildlife. Oak, there's red and white oak in here. There's cherry, there's ironwood. All of these produce mast, and mast is so called because they produce large crops of seeds at fairly regular intervals. So if you were to plot it on a graph, you get highs and then a couple of years of low and then another high. So you got ship masts across the top of your graph. And these are used by animals, and usually mast of different species come at different years. So if you have a mast of white oak one year, you won't get a mast of red oak because they take different lengths of time to produce acorn. So you get white oak one year, red oak mast the next year. And this tends to even out the amount of food available for animals. It's also very important, I think, that this woodlot is close to Clear Lake because it helps filter water and helps maintain a cleaner, clear lake for Mike to enjoy. I thought that would be important. The MIF tip I wrote is based a lot on previous management plans that were written for the Darlings. And really, I just want to reiterate that we're not going to have thousands of people tromping through here. We're not going to be building, anything that attracts people. There might be a few people who come in here. We're going to be doing no harvesting of wood. We're going to be marking the trails perhaps a little more clearly, and that's really about it, and maintaining those trails. And hopefully holding some various as I said before, days where we can come out and bird watch. A friend of ours is a very good herpetologist, and maybe he can come out and hunt for skinks, not skunks, skinks, snakes, and so on. That might be of interest to some people. And there is also butternut here, which is an endangered species because of the incidence of butternut canker. and a number of butternut have been identified here. And we'll be taking note of those and caring for those along the way to try to maintain their status within the woodlot. And we're going to maintain, and we're going to remove invasive species. There are a number of invasive species that are already present, such as Manitoba maple. There's a small patch, I understand, of Tartarian honeysuckle. There's some glossy buckthorn that need to be removed as well. So that's really all the MIFTIP says. Maintain natural successional stages and look after butternut and remove invasive species and mark the trails a little better. First time I came out here, I kind of got lost because the trails weren't very well maintained, or weren't marked.
And the water was very high.
And the water was very high. That's right. That's right. So
That's great.